Tommy.
Well, thank you very much, Devon. Welcome to the IEC Results Centre in East London. You join us while the provincial IEC is holding a briefing to update us on the situation across the province in terms of how this day has gone so far. And for now, here's what we know. Rain is pouring in many parts of the province, including where we are. And this raises concerns, obviously, about the impact on the voter turnout. We also know that the wind has died down, especially in the Nelson Mandela Metro, where damage was caused in some voting stations this morning. But despite the long queues and small logistical problems that have delayed some voters, the spirit seems to be very good and people are coming out to cast their votes. Our reporter in the Nelson Mandela Bay is Janine Lee, who is now joining us to give us an update in terms of how things stand at this point. Good afternoon, Janine.
Good afternoon, Tommy. And just to update you what we chatted about when we spoke earlier, I mentioned that there had been some reports that there were no ballot boxes in some of the voting stations at the northern areas. I phoned the IEC head here in Nelson Mandela Bay, and he said to me, Crosby Bakela, he said to me, Janine, to quote him, absolute nonsense. So that report earlier, there were ballot boxes and everything going ahead in the northern areas as it should be. I'm going to ask GQ, who's on camera now, just to give you an idea of the location where we are, Tommy. It's very, very windy here, but I'm going to see if GQ can move his camera across. We are in Ward 18, and you'll get a chance to see there's a big informal settlement here to my right. That's the Ramaphosa village settlement, and then Chris Hani off a little bit further to the left. And many of these people coming out here today to cast their vote and their democratic right to vote, and they have been enjoying it. It's relatively quiet here, but it seems to ebb and flow. There were a lot more people earlier. In fact, when we went around the Metro, Tommy, the voting stations this morning, there were long queues from 7 o'clock already. And I must say, in all the elections that I've covered since the 1994 one, which was legendary, there hasn't been the queues that I have seen today. So people are really embracing this election with all their heart and soul, it seems. And what they are doing, Tommy, is they're spending about, on average, maybe not at this particular voting station, but the previous ones, an hour and a half in the queue. So it's been quite a long wait for them, but they've done it with a big smile on their faces. And just to give you an idea, we have just over 1 million residents here in Nelson Mandela Bay, and over 600,000 of them have registered to vote. And how the IEC has structured this, they've learnt a lot over the elections that we've had in the past. In the urban areas, nobody needs to travel or move more than 6.5 kilometers in that radius, and they will find a voting station. Their voting station will be in that radius. In the rural areas, it's a little bit larger distance they have to travel, but no one should have to move more than 12.5 kilometers to cast their vote. The weather here, Tommy, as you mentioned, has been atrocious. The wind is blowing. It's gusting up to 70 knots at times, so people are holding on to their umbrellas. In fact, I've given up with the umbrella because I swear if I put it up, I would be in East London in no time. Really, really busy. But the reports from Nelson Mandela Bay, which was identified as a hotspot for these elections, no reports of anything bad, Tommy. And the South African police are here. They said because this is a hotspot, they're on standby should anything go wrong, but it's all systems go, and apart from a few minor things, not too bad. The Minister of Human Settlements, Lindiwe Sisulu, was here a little bit earlier. She's going around the Metro. She had a look at this tent. She said she was going to make a call to the IEC just to come and have a look at it because it was flapping really, really badly, and there's some of the ballot boxes were breaking. So that is going to be reported to the IEC, but nothing major from the Metro as yet, Tommy.
Okay, thank you very much. That's our reporter, the Janine Lee, in the Nelson Mandela Metro, giving us a sense of how things are going there. It's going fairly quiet there. People are turning out to actually cast their vote. It's quite interesting that they were seeing some unprecedented long queues there, and it does tell me that probably the political parties have done very well to energize their supporters during the campaign trail so that people do go out and vote. Now, let's turn our attention now to the Transkei in the village of Mvezo, and that's the birthplace of our former president, the late Nelson Mandela. The spirit of democracy is alive and well there. Young and old are eager to make their mark, the first time for some. Let's look at this report by our reporter there, Jade Lee Paulson.
The 93-year-old Moshile Nompoko was born in 1923 in Mvezo. He first voted in 1994 in the first democratic elections and is ready to put his vote to paper again. He will again take a slow walk on this route with his walking stick in hand to cast his vote at the nearby voting station like in previous years. He did not apply for a special vote as he wants to be among both the young and the old when he casts his vote.
It is important to vote because it has brought so much change. Back in the old days, we could not go anywhere without having to produce a passport. Now I can even go to London. The youth should also vote to continue bringing change.
The importance of your identity document also staying with him.
51, 52, 084, that's the number.
The youth of Mvezo are also eagerly awaiting to also cast their vote.
We are voting because we want to see change, and particularly job creation. I can see change here because ever since the chief came into power, we get jobs because of the constructions on the roads. So that's why I am voting.
For Moshile Nompoko and many others who live in the same village as the icon that is Madiba, every election reminds them of the struggle to secure freedom for every South African. Jadely Paulser, SABC News, Mvezo.
Now, one of the challenges that we have mentioned earlier on that has a potential to complicate these elections during this period is actually the rain which has fallen in some parts of the province, and the fear is that maybe in the rural areas this could have major impact. And we're just gonna locate now one of the municipalities where our reporter is, who's going to give us an idea of what is happening. And Busisiwe Jemsana is located in one of the municipalities here. It's Lukanji municipality. That's the area in the Queenstown area. And now, as you can see on the map here, the green obviously indicates the dominance of the African National Congress in terms of the political control of that municipality, with DA coming in second with five seats, and then you have COPE with 2 seats there, and the United Democratic Movement has got 1 seat, and the PAC, if you've been wondering where is the PAC, it's got 1 seat in this municipality. It's called Lukanji municipality. That's where the town of Queenstown is. It's going to be interesting to see if this picture is going to change after tonight when we're done with counting all the votes. Is this picture going to change, especially with now the emergence of political parties like the EFF and so on coming in to eat on that vote? It's going to be interesting to look at that. Now let's cross to our reporter now, Busisiwe Jemsana, who's actually here in this municipality. Busisiwe, tell us more about what's happening where you are.
But when I'm on the line, because I'm
all right, it seems like Busisiwe has got some technical problems there, but she's going to bring us some more about what's happening in those areas there. One of the municipalities that we're looking at, of course, is the Nelson Mandela Metro. All eyes are actually on this municipality here, and everybody wants to see exactly who's going to win the control of that municipality. As it stands now, it's obviously neck and neck with the DA and the ANC, and my screen here is giving me some tough time. It's obviously between the ANC and the DA, but obviously we're looking at other small parties as well, like the EFF. Maybe they can, be the kingmakers in that municipality. We'll look at that. It seems like we do have our reporter now, Busisiwe Jemsana, in Queenstown. Busisiwe, can you hear us? Can you just tell us what's happening where you are?
A very good morning. Quite a freezing one here in Queenstown. It has literally just stopped raining, but even when it was raining, the rain time, it did not deter these people from coming in to make that vote. Since the early hours of the morning, the queues have been long, and this is nothing compared to what we've been seeing this morning. We are at the Lukanji municipality. This is Ward 10, the biggest ward in this municipality, consisting of close to 3,000 voters. And I must say that this is the stronghold of the DA. We have seen political parties bringing their campaign to this municipality, wanting to gain control of it. We've also seen the DA making sure that it keeps promises to its people, and it mobilizes its people to stay supporting the party. We are going to randomly choose them to speak to us. It is cold. You've decided to go out and come to vote. What pressed you?
To make a difference. You have to.
And what difference would you like to see?
Just, what can we say?
Just somebody that wants the best for South Africa. If it's the DA, the ANC, the EFF, whoever wants the best for this country, because this country is in desperate need of a change for the best.
Thank you. You've heard it. Whoever wants the best for this country will govern this municipality. All of them going in to cast their votes, not being deterred by the freezing weather conditions. We know that 4 political parties are contesting this ward. Whether or not the campaigns that they've been bringing to this municipality will have an effect on the outcomes or on the results of these elections, it's something that remains to be seen. Generally, though, when we were going from municipality, from ward to ward, from a voting station to the other, voting has been continuing smoothly in this area. From us, it's back to you.
Well, thank you very much. That's our reporter there, Busisiwe Jameson, coming to you live from Lukanji municipality. That's in the area of Queenstown. They're giving us a sense of what's happening. Well, that's what we have for now. Coming from this province of the Eastern Cape, we're obviously going to update you as the day progresses. For now, it's back to Pretoria.